Welcome to Thermo Thursdays, where I talk a little bit about the thermodynamics centered around gas sensing, mostly around CO2, methane, and gas emissions. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about CO2 and the sources, and it's going to be part of a series where I walk through the thermodynamic simply from purely from a thermodynamics modeling perspective, but I want to just better understand, get a refresher for myself on how CO2 goes from biogenic, industrial process exhaust streams and makes it into our delicious, bubbly beverages. So that's the primary use for a lot of commercial grade CO2 or food grade CO2. Along the way, we'll look at different various factors in the economics, business side of things, but all from the thermodynamics perspective. It's been a while since I've dug into the thermo, so just bear with me and let's see what we find. So today I'm really just kind of wanted to start with some sources for CO2. I'm familiar with a biomass gasification project I worked on, where they take tree trimmings, natural waste. I did this project out in Sacramento, and there was these big piles of wood chips. So they take the trimmings, compress them down into chips, and then feed them into a gasifier. And so a large, when you go and cook this in a gasifier, it's a lot more complicated than this photo or drawing, obviously. But out of this process, you get hydrogen, CO2, CO, methane, and water, among other things. And we'll probably you can dig into this more if you'd like. Just let me know in the comments. But we're gonna look at CO2 specifically, and this kind of reformer. This was a fluidized bed reformer, fluidized gasifier, and they used a fluidized bed, made contact with the wood chips, and then that releases the valuable gas, and then they take all of this gas and process it, turn it into transportation fuels, syngas, for example. But the outcome, at least for CO2, is about 20% by mole fraction is CO2. If you look in the description, I'll provide a link to a paper I wrote on this. We're using laser-based sensors to detect the levels of CO2. The other CO2 source I want to consider in this modeling is, so here's 1, 2, we're looking at just biogenic sources like good old glass of wine. So in here we're looking at approximately, you have a big wine tank, and then you have exhaust coming out while it's fermenting, and so you're looking at 95 to 98% CO2. We'll actually get an opportunity to confirm this on a project we're working on. We'll actually measure it with the CO2 sensor we have on board. But yeah, these are the two sources I kind of want to talk about and model based off of. So if I were to want to capture CO2 and reuse it for beverage grade bottling purposes. These are two sources that we could use here in California, and biomass gasification and wine fermentation. If you need any help with CO2 monitoring, methane monitoring, gas emissions monitoring, follow the link in the description, reach out for a free scoping call, and we'll talk about your project and start measuring data you can trust.